Ciao from Pietro, ciao from the limited edition. This is The Independent broadcast, and we take to you every week one independent watchmaker that we love of our selection, because we represent independent watchmakers online with our platform, The Limited Edition. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you our editor, Johnny McElherron, and our guest of today, Rémi Maillat from KRAYON. Johnny, how are you? And Rémi, how are you?
Hello. Very good. Thank you.
Excellent.
It's great.
All is good, Pietro. It's wonderful to be talking to Remi today. Remi's watches, Pietro, the KRAYON brand, have been absolutely breathtaking, and they're a breath of fresh air, as I would describe, because they do something that is completely unique to KRAYON. There's no other watch brand does anything similar to it, and with its own in-house complication, which really we'll be talking about very shortly, or with the sunrise and sunset which is calibrated to wherever you live or wherever you request the watch to be set to. It amazingly throughout the year it shows the time of sunrise, sunset, day and night, with the lengthening the lengthening hours of daylight and nighttime. It's remarkable, and it's not only me that thinks that, and that you that think that, Pietro, because Pietro, we won. Remi won the GPHG Aiguille a couple of years ago, and
Twice.
Last year also.
No matter. And we don't see KRAYON often enough, and we don't see Remi often enough. Remi, you are also not necessarily just a watchmaker. You are a mathematician. You are somebody that is very passionate about facts, of mathematical facts. How did your passion for watchmaking started?
Yes, I started study in microtechnology, and my father is also a microtechnology engineer who has been working in the watch industry, and my mother is a associate mathematics teacher. So it was natural for me to study microtechnology in the region of watchmaking on the watch industry. And what I appreciate is that it requires to be very rigorous, but also to have imagination to find a solution, to implement new solution. And
sorry.
I was always interested in building, constructing. Could it be a machine, device, robots? And I discovered more about watchmaking at the engineering school, and I fell in love because it combines artistic aspect. So it's a fusion between engineering, mathematics, and art, and that was for me something I really fell in love with.
So watchmaking was the perfect platform, and Johnny, that's incredible to hear, because of course KRAYON, in my perception, is really this beautiful mix between incredible mathematical calculations applied to microengineering. Because when you were mentioning before the sunrise, the sunset indication on a watch, on a wristwatch, is not something that you can do just out of passion or inspiration. It's obviously requires meticulous and scientific calculations. But from Crayon at a glance, the poetic and the artistic side actually comes very, very clearly. Johnny, is your perception similar?
Absolutely. It is one of Crayon, when we first saw the first watch, which we look at in a moment. Why not look at it now? Because the first watch was the Everywhere. And it was just, it was like nothing else that we had ever seen before. And still is like nothing else we'd ever seen before. It is like it's a horological slide rule for the calendar, if you like, because it has those so many. It has Everywhere was extremely complicated. I understand now that the emphasis is more towards the latest creation, the Anywhere, but the Everywhere was able to be calibrated wherever you were in the world. You could set it up to display.
This was the debut in 2017, correct, Remy?
Yes, this was launched in 2017, and Crayon was founded in 2013. And at the very beginning, Crayon was an engineering studio that make developments, find new complication, makes engineering for other watch brands or other watch company.
Sure. And straight away in 2018, best watchmaking innovation at the Grand Prix de l'Horlogerie. So this was the start, Johnny, as you're saying. They started, sometimes watchmakers start from fairly uncomplicated, calibers. For Crayon, it was the opposite.
Without a doubt, the complexity of the Crayon Everywhere. I remember writing about it on the watch press, and it just being, it was one of those pieces that when you saw it, you had to find out more, because it was just so different, so unusual, and so complex that it just was an incredible creation, and one which has been, as we have said, Pietro, GPHG Innovation Award winner, and absolutely, what can you say about it? It was like nothing else I'd ever seen.
So now, Remy, this piece is legend. Is not basically available anymore because it would take years to even produce one piece. But how proud, orgueilleux were you when you presented this in the early days and you got immediate recognition?
Yes, it was incredible as a as an engineer to receive the innovation prize, and it also shows me that I need to continue improve on different aspects of the watch. Everywhere is very focused on engineering. It's the complication really comes first, and I take a lot of efforts to make a movement that is not very large, to have a watch that is easy to be worn daily. And then I think about the next step on the future, and I mostly focused on ergonomy, on the final user experience of the watch.
Yeah,
Exactly. So this was your thinking when you decided to simplify a little bit the concept from an astronomical computer that we can call the Everywhere to the Anywhere, which is what is now Crayon offering, Johnny. That for the blasphemous, amongst us, the Anywhere looks exactly as incredible, but of course it comes at half, pretty much the price of the Everywhere, and it's slightly less complicated, Remy. So with the Anywhere, you were looking to try to be more accessible, I guess, in terms of how many pieces you could produce and how easy it is to operate this watch.
Yes, exactly. And Anywhere use the core mechanism of Everywhere. A mechanism in Everywhere, the movement is so compact. We cannot see the different parts and different mechanisms moving. So it's very difficult to explain it and understand how it works. And I wanted to keep the core functionality is to calculate and display sunrise and sunset, and being able to set and readjust for any location given by latitude, longitude, and the time zone. So Anywhere uses we can see on the photo with the cam assembly, the golden cams, and this
Yes, which we can see at 6 o'clock, basically, for the viewers here. We can see at the
yes,
bottom at six
we,
o'clock.
we can see a very long longitudinal screw, and this allows to change setting for latitude. This will change
Okay.
the eccentricity. Maybe I will not dig too deep into how it works. Otherwise, I don't know if everyone will follow me.
Can I make it clear for those like me that are not watchmakers and are not engineers? So what these timepieces, the Everywhere and also the Anywhere do, they are able mechanically to show you the sunset and the sunrise in any given latitude and longitude around the planet, and they are able to master and show this information. No, correct, Remy?
Yes, correct. Correct. And Everywhere allows final user to readjust with a complex system the latitude, the longitude, and the time zone with a function selector and all the setting done with the drone. So there is a display of latitude, display of longitude that shows what is the current parameter. And
Yes.
this, of course, is the full complication. But in practice, we prefer to have it set precisely for one location, and maybe if one day we can change, we have the possibility. But we're not afraid every time we touch the watch that we will change the setting.
Okay, so can we say now on this image that Johnny, thank you very much, is showing? Could you tell us about what we are seeing in terms of the sunrise and the sunset?
So on this image, we can see the outer dial with a midday on top and midnight on the opposite. So it is the hours on 24 hours. And we have a sun, and the sun travels 24 hours. We have obviously hour and minute at the center,
Yes.
and we have the date and month on the subdial.
Okay.
And we can see the light blue sector represents the day, and the
Yes.
dark blue with the stars represents the night. And the
Yes.
frontier between the sector shows the sunrise and the sunset times. And we can read the exact time with a scale on the outer dial. We can see it more precisely near 6 p.m. And we can see we are a few minutes after 6:30 for the sunrise.
Perfect. Yeah.
Sunrise.
Yeah.
We could
So
we
you
don't-
have.
And
Sorry, Johnny.
we don't see clearly from this angle what is the sunset. We know it's between 4 and 5, but if we want to have precise indication, we need to read on the scale of the outer dial.
this is showing.
Now you can see
Oh yes.
sunrise on this picture is 5:40.
So you have, you know, in advance, like for example, in the previous image, we have to say we have the position of the sun at the moment you're reading the time, and you know that the sunset and the sunrise will be at specific times. Plus, the sun itself will rotate and find itself in that position when the sunset and the sunrise actually happen.
Yes, it's like the sun travels all the
Yeah.
color of the sky, and we can see the correlation between current time and the moment in the day. So we'll see if sunset will happen in a few hours or a few minutes,
Yeah.
and if the night is nearly finished or only started. So it really shows correlation between current time and the moment of the day.
It's actually a double indication of sunset and sunrise. Johnny, I'm absolutely blown away.
It's amazing. We, Pietro, have had the good fortune to see this watch in it and hold it in our hands, and to fast forward through the 24-hour cycle via just by turning the crown, and to see the sun rotating around the dial, but also when you adjust the calendar, because this, after all, this is not set for only sunrise at, say, 4:25 or 4:30, as we're looking at here, because as we go through the seasons, the length of the day, of course, changes. From where we are, we have daylight until maybe 10 p.m. During the summertime, and but during the winter it's 4:30, and
So also the tone, the color grid and the tone of the dial actually changes depending on the configuration of the day and night indication.
Exactly.
during the year it changes. Yeah.
Maybe I can. I don't know if we can see from.
1 second, we will see it now, Remy. 1 moment.
I don't know if it works well. Sorry.
Yeah, good. Excellent. Let's see. Yeah, perfect.
And you see now I'm setting the date
Yes.
forward, and you see each day sunrise and sunset time change a few minutes, and now we arrive in June, so we have a very long day and a short night. And the watch is very simple to use because we can set the date forwards and backwards at any moment. And now back
So
to
again, the marriage between aesthetics and obviously the calculations and the microengineering and all the calculations that go behind being able to estimate exactly the relative position of the sun at a given time of the year. So it is amazing. And Remi, I need to ask you first. I'm gonna say thank you for those that are watching this live recording.
Definitely.
Rosia, thank you very much. Alex, nice of you for joining us. Remi, how did you have, before we go to the question from Rosia, I wanted to ask, how did you have the idea about sunset and sunrise? Where did it come from? And did you feel, how important was it? Because in watchmaking, it's something that you don't see every day by any stretch of imagination.
it comes from a personal experience. I enjoy diving, free diving, and snorkeling. And the best moment is exact sunrise, because we have fishes from the night still very active. Fish of the day start going out, trying to find something to eat. And I was on holiday with my wife in Spain, and I invited her to come with me for snorkeling at the sunrise. And also I explained her it takes hours to prepare before, because we need to have equipment, we need to go to the location, we need to reach the water, to equip, But if we are late, we miss a unique opportunity. So it's important to be early enough. And so we went, we prepared. It was still it's very dark, and then we were ready. And my wife remember waiting. She always says 1 hour, but it's less. Waiting for the sun to rise over the sea. And from this, at this time, we were always trying to think about new complication, new mechanism, and we think this would be very unique if a watch could tell us when is sunrise, sunset, and also will it be soon or will it be in a long time. And also, should it be? It could be any location, because maybe today we want to enjoy on this place. We're in Spain. Maybe one other day we move another place, and we don't have the same sunrise and sunset. So it was
Absolutely.
from the very
And you were saying, sorry.
So it was from the very beginning very important for us that it can adapt location.
Sure, and it's important for the collector to be able to operate the watch wherever the collector may be in the world.
Yes, that's why for some years I was like, it's what a pity that it has to be set for specific location. If it could be universal for any location, I would make a complication, but I will not make a complication that is specifically designed for one location. Makes no sense to me, because I don't want to have a watch that display inaccurate information. And then I think about what what have influence on sunrise sunsets. It is the position on Earth. It is the time zone which displays the hour of sunrise and sunset. It is the date, obviously, and that's how I come up with a solution for everywhere.
Fantastic.
If I had a question, so you have this idea in your mind that this complication does not exist. There is no precedent for this. So how do you start? Where do you start to come up with the how you're going to execute this? How you're going to create
from a blank canvas, basically.
Yes, I start identify the parameters, and then I try to imagine a mechanical solution that will implement it. So I really start with the art of the complication. In fact, for to conceive everywhere, I really started with a cam assembly we can see clearly on anywhere today. That was the very beginning of the everywhere, and then we need to conceive and create all what comes around. It means there is in everywhere there is a special mechanism to make the change of the latitude. There is a gear train to display what is the current latitude. There is and then I think, wait, how will I set all of this parameter? I don't want to use some small pushers. We don't know how to operate it. So came with necessity to have a function selector, and then it became everywhere.
Absolutely. And how many? There is actually. I'll let Johnny put up the question from Roger,
Roger's
1981.
question,
Yeah. How many everywhere did you produce after this stunning debut in 2017, Remi?
Less less than 10.
Less than 10. Yeah, it's it's such an extraordinary piece. It's just I can understand it. It's probably,
It's like
if you think
maybe
about it, Pietro, it's probably
1
very
each
shocked.
of them. And that's when I launched Anywhere, there was so much success and demand that today I cannot spend six months to make one Anywhere,
One
and
watch.
says everybody waiting for the Anywhere. It will be 6 months more.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
sense.
And to help collectors understanding, Remy, the Anywhere, we're still talking of a watch that is made of 400 parts, with the top micro technology applied, of course, with the complication of the full calendar with sunrise and sunset indication, and a finishing, Johnny, that we haven't even started to talk about, the finishing that is absolutely mind blowing. You have a signature finishing as well on the Everywhere here, but also on the Anywhere, with the this silhouette of Lake Neuchâtel, which is the place where you are based, Remi.
Yes.
No?
Okay.
And I invite everyone to look at this. The silhouette of the beveling and in the center of the piece, which is inspired by Lake Neuchâtel itself. Do you want to tell us the story, Remi?
Yes, after Everywhere, I wanted to focus more on finishing, because for Everywhere I had to make a lot of compromise to have all the component fitting inside the watch. So I could not have large bevelings, I could not have large jewels and countersinks like I really love them. And for Anywhere, so the movement is much cleaner. Also, there is a very special architecture trick in Anywhere. It's like you cannot see the fixation screw of the bridges, because the bridges are attached from the other side.
Yeah, it's
This
like hidden. It's like
makes
hidden.
this makes this focus attention on the mechanism, on the jewels, on the two adjustment screws on the sunrise and sunset
Yeah,
bridge.
and the cams at 6 o'clock, they are very prominent. They also look like waves of Lake Neuchâtel.
Yes, and if you look at the balance bridge, it's obvious that it's not like any other balance bridge, because there is no fixation screw visible. So it also gives a very unique look at the watch, and I have large bevelings. The beveling are bercé, like we say in French. It is slightly round. Why I changed from Anywhere, which is 45-degree straight angle, is that it reflects way more light, because if we have a beveling that is flat surface, maybe in some orientation it will reflect a lot of light, and in some other orientation it will appear gray or black. But with Bercé beveling, it reflects more light constantly. So it's from my
It's a
point of
fantastic
view
detail.
nicer to enjoy to look at.
Fantastic detail. It's like the wavy Côte de Genève that we see on the main plates. And can we call them Côte de Neuchâtel?
Yes, we can. We can. It is crayon. We call it crayon waves.
Yeah,
Crayon
yeah,
waves.
yeah.
Wonderful.
And
Uh,
there is also uh, a reason for the shape of the waves, because you see it's nearly symmetric, but it's not exactly. And in fact, it is if you trust a graphic of the sunset time, depending of the date of the year, all the year, you will see this kind of shape of line for latitude around 45 degrees, like Neuchâtel.
Every little detail is just. I'm sitting here, Pietro, and as I said before, we're lucky enough to have seen this watch in person, and it's still. I've got a grin on my face here just looking at it. It's just spectacular. It's so beautiful. Like, I am a sucker for the astronomical, for the calendar watches. I love the complete calendar. So you've got the day, date, month, moon phase. But the KRAYON Anywhere just adds a completely new dimension to that. And with the sunrise and the sunset, and
it's one of those that you don't know where to start from. We humbly started from the story of Remi, and we continued to the micro, the story related to the engineering and the micro technologies. But then when you jump to the aesthetic side as well, there is an awful lot to say. So yes, I was going to ask about the special piece. Johnny, do you want to introduce it to us with Remi?
Well, this obviously is the Anywhere, but it's a very special edition of the Anywhere because it was produced exclusively one piece only for Only Watch, I think 2021. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's again, one of the things that I love is Mosaic, and it has that extraordinary motif on the dial. And tell us a little bit, a wonderful project to be part of, because Only Watch people, which is happening again later on this year, 2023. It is a biennial event, and it is run by a gentleman called Luc Pedivino, and it is held to raise funds for research into Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and it has become a phenomenal event on its own right. It attracts the best watchmakers, and it's one of those rare events, Pietro, where it also attracts brands and independents.
Oh, it's definitely besides the incredible good cause that is of the support that you mentioned, Johnny. It's become a platform for ingenious creativity in the form of art of watchmaking, and Remi and KRAYON, with this particular Mosaic edition, have written a page of history in that event in particular. Remi, are you planning to do something like similar in the future, or was the Mosaic something that you only wanted to dedicate to the Only Watch event and it will not be repeated in the future?
Well, we introduced first the Mosaic with Only Watch 2021. So the dial comes from, it's inspired from Claude Monet painting that is named Impression Sunrise. That is very important painting in the history of art, because it then gives a name to Impressionism movement, and it is also linked to the function of the watch, and we can see there is one small orange cell that represents the sun and all the different all around. The idea of the mosaic was like you already explained, Johnny, is that any only watch is for medical research, and the mosaic is like the cells of a human body. They are all different, so they have all different shape, and they all have a different color. And one by one, they don't mean anything, but together they form something.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. And you actually took the idea on to your next piece, which was the métier d'art, and so which was this one because it also features that beautiful.
Yes, and we introduced métier d'art azure, so it uses same kind of mosaic, but there is mostly representation of the color of the sky before the sunrise.
Yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful.
totally. I see we have another question from Cheng Harrison. Cheng, thank you very much for your question, and it is to Remi. What is the production volume per year now? So that would be with the Anywhere, yes.
2022, I think we made 25 watches,
Wow.
and we hope to have 30 or a bit more this year.
That's fantastic. Absolutely. And it's great to see the response that the collectors are having, that you've got to that stage now where the Everywhere has had to be paused for the time being, at least, because so you can concentrate on the crayon. And so it's fantastic. We have another question there from Thomas. Thomas, always good to hear from you, watches and words. So the question is, does the month hand move continuously throughout a month, or each month is a segment, not a point? There are two hands.
Yes, exactly. The month's hand is moving slowly each day. Like you can see on this picture, it displays April 22nd, and the month's hand is on the April segment, close to the end.
And so the month hand is moving.
Is moving.
Yeah, so it's the segment. Yeah, so the R of March basically fills in all the segment for March, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good trick. Very, very good. Very good.
Absolutely. I see, Pietro, we've got the
Yeah,
site.
to put things in perspective, maybe Remi, you can guide you. The Anywhere, as we said, the Everywhere could be potentially available, but you're not working on the Everywhere because the times for producing one would be too long. And on the Anywhere, there are different versions potentially available. The waiting is in and around 15 months, Remi, to keep it quite optimistic. And what are the versions?
20 months, 24 months.
2024. Okay. Well, guys, speak to me, and perhaps we can find a compromise. But yes, there's a long wait for the time being. And what are the versions available? Remi, we see here on the limited edition website, we can see 4.
The white gold with a blue dial. Actually, it is the white gold that has GPHG award. It's not the métier d'art.
Okay, I will fix that.
Yes.
Oh dear. I will fix that. I will make a note of that right now. So
and the rose gold and the lady anywhere also, but it's not strong demand on this one. And Métier d'Art Azur, but Métier d'Art Azur is a limited edition of 15 pieces,
Yeah.
and it is already fully allocated. I don't know from each different retailer if they have chosen their to allocate it, but from my side it is fully allocated.
Wow.
Perfect.
So
So they'll have, if you are thinking about this, guys, talk to me, talk to Johnny. We'll have to find our best tricks to be able to to get one. Thank you, Johnny. We can stop the sharing. It was just to show you that you'll find full description of the Anywhere collection on the limited edition. We are official retailers for Krayon, and you can find all the information thanks to Johnny that works on a daily basis with his family as well. I have to say, on these reviews, descriptions, and to keep you all updated. So, Remi, I'm a bit scared about the next question because what is happening next? Because you started you started with some incredible technology combined with some amazing aesthetics and métier d'art, and we've seen the level of the finishing. So where do you go from there?
So Krayon is at its very beginning. There is a lot of potential, and we have a vision, and our vision is to continue to explore new complications that are at the same time useful, simple to use, to read, to set, and in watches that are comfortable to wear daily. Because for us is what is important in watchmaking. It is what people enjoy.
Are you surprised by the success of independent watchmaking when Johnny and I in 2015 were kind of saying that this was coming on the back of what was happening with the pioneers of independent watchmaking in those days, the Max Busser, the Urwerk, the Debutune, and then not to mention the real pioneers of the first wave, Vianney Alter, Sven Andersen, Ludovic Balois, etc. Today in 2023, where somebody like you that came with a spectacular idea, that yes, for as spectacular as it was, you're at a very tricky price point. So it's something that is obviously doesn't appeal to everyone, but the exposure that you get, the appreciation that you get, the understanding that you get from collectors is something that Johnny and I, we get really, really impressed every single day. What is your thought on this?
I'm very glad to have the recognition from collectors, enthusiasts, or even the public of to understand what I did to see we enjoy the same aspects of watchmaking, and we hope to continue exploring it together.
Yeah, we always say with Johnny that if watchmaking is here to stay, especially because of the crafts of the artisan watchmakers that make this form of art absolutely unique. And I believe and I feel, Johnny, that Krayon embraces all the elements that make artisanal watchmaking incredible. Again, from the engineering to the mechanics to the aesthetics and to the story and to the people behind. I see everything there.
Well, I never knew about the diving, the scuba diving, the story, how that was actually the inspiration for something so wonderful. And, I agree. Ronzi put a comment up there saying, oh, please make something more affordable. And yeah, I echo that. But you can't buy a masterpiece for humble money. And I really think these are absolute masterpieces.
Unless Remi has an announcement to make. I don't know. Remi, do you think there will be anything new on the, let's say less than 100,000 Swiss francs in the future one day?
I have no announcement to make today.
No announcement today. I think, Pietro, you're trying to
today.
put our guest under pressure here.
Always try. Always try. That's why they pay me. Yeah, always try.
But for sure, it will be very much in the vision and DNA of the and the values of Crayon. It will be
Fantastic.
next will be a very Crayon timepiece, but also something you cannot guess, because you cannot expect something new that not exist.
Yeah, especially if you're so busy. I have one last question, if I may, Pietro, and neither of you've seen it, but it comes to mind. The name Krayon is very unusual itself. Where did that idea come from, Remi?
The very beginning, the idea was company was called Crayon. It came from the French name crayon, written with a C, that means pencil.
Yeah.
Is because it's very first tool for the beginning of any technical, mathematical, or artistic creation, and all mixed and fusion in watchmaking in a timepiece. And then I think it was also a good representation of the spirit of the watches I made, like everywhere. So it became the name of the brand.
Wonderful, wonderful. What an insight!
Thank you so
Pietro.
much. This is actually this is the icing on the cake, Johnny. I think we have really closed the circle. I feel we've given a good inside view on what Crayon stands for, what Crayon comes from, and where
Yeah.
Crayon is hopefully going in the future. Congratulations, Remi, for what you have achieved
Thank
so
you.
far. Thank you for your time, and I encourage everyone to send your questions, comments on this channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do it, so we get even more visibility and we can bring this knowledge about the independent watchmaking even wider and broader. And Johnny, thank you very much for co-hosting this episode of The Independence. There will be more soon, very soon.
I love it. So, yeah, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Remi, we will look forward to meeting you in Geneva, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully.
See you soon, Remi. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you. Goodbye.